were AFC rivals for almost 25 years. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's all just ahead on Madden NFL 25.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now, Charles, you and I, we've done a lot of games together. Always seems like we're rehashing the same storylines. Turnovers, of course, always a big story. Quarterback play, running backs, yada, yada, yada. But getting ready for this one word kept coming to mind, and that's preparation.
Well, it's critical to be prepared. Physically, mentally. When you think about getting ready for an NFL game, you have to wonder, what will they throw at us that maybe we haven't seen before? 2-minute drill, maybe different things like that. Got to be prepared. You're exactly right.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And we are underway from Kansas City. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly, you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed, he tends to have an answer for it and plays accordingly.
First play, Mahomes looking to throw it. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3-and-out here on 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's 2nd and 10. And again, it's Mahomes. Well, this one complete. It's Rashee Rice. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On fourth down, Matt Ariza sent on to punt. Back deep is Jalen Darden. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Now Smith and the Seahawks going to come up 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing now is Geno. That's complete to DK Metcalf. He'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
In motion comes the tight end left. Now Smith. It's complete to Brown, right side. Short completion, just 4 yards. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Now Geno. And that is incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth his salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. And a bit of a daunting task here for this offense as they'll start out at the 1-yard line.
I guess you could easily say there's a whole lot of real estate in front of them if they want to achieve their goal, which is get to the other end zone.
Yeah, 99 yards to go if they want to do just that. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
But both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave him some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed them off with that run.
2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And that is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rice. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. It's a gain of 34.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
We're scoreless after one. Second quarter from Arrowhead. It's the Chiefs in possession. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. He'll drop this off to Pacheco. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Headed straight, it's Pacheco. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That is caught downfield. It's Worthy. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. And Xavier Worthy, 38 yards. And the Chiefs post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. To the 43, 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 43, here's 2nd and 6. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. To the right side and intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
KC's offense ready to take over. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
A first carry for Samaje Perine.
And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
Two minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9.
Now here's Mahomes. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Mahomes now to throw.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
He completes this to Walker.
They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now 2nd and 9.
Geno now to throw.
Targeting the out route, and he completes this to Metcalf.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Throwing is Smith.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 22.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To the air again, Smith.
Has it complete to Jackson Smith and Jigba.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Now it's Smith. It's complete to Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Smith throwing again. Forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Back to throw here. Dancing to his left. And he will slide down with a good gain. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. Myers' kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point a drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And we'll see how much they want to push things, leading already here 10-3.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. To throw, it's Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Throwing now is Mahomes.
That's caught right side by Worthy.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
1 second, all that remains.
The final shot here before break. Smith. Trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this third quarter. This is a game, Charles, it's been fairly starved for offense. Really not much in that first half. We'll see if they can get something going here as we look toward the third quarter.
And not just a chance to finally get a little more offense going, but to erase that small deficit they currently trailed by. I think they'd send a pretty powerful message to the opposite sideline if they drive it right down the field coming out of the half.
Third quarter begins with a run by Walker.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the third quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's second down and 3.
Smith. Open man, that's no. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
And while all of that was going on, we have an injured player out there in need of some attention. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. To throw is Smith.
And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones who need to touch the ball.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's Smith.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Smith now to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Smith and Jigba in motion right. And he'll get it here on the touch pass.
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
A 1-yard touchdown reception.
And the Seahawks are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2.
After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the 3rd as they have their first possession of this 2nd half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
He's going to find his tight end, Gray, complete.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey.
And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs first down as the tackle made up near the 35.
It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Mahomes going to throw. That'll be caught by Rice. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. The tight end, Kelsey, has it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
In motion left goes a tight end. Looking to throw is Mahomes.
Throw over the middle, caught by the tight end, Gray.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. All even as we get ready to start the fourth.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Mahomes to throw once more. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's 2nd down. Now here's Mahomes.
That's complete. Left side to Worthy.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
And Xavier Worthy
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Chiefs answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter-punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the 4th quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You're talking about those punches and counter-punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now and make a play and give their team a firm advantage?
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that makes it a 17-10 score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Here's Walker to start the drive.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
49 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Walker with a grab, left side. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And they pick up the 1st down there with a gain of 4.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Looking for Lockett, and he's got him working his way free across the middle. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line.
Chris Jones picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Now Geno. To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
They'll fake it. Now Smith.
Not wasting time, going right back to DK Metcalf.
And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 35.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10.
Throwing now is Geno. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And they're going to lose some on this play, being knocked back to the 18.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Well, they'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Here's Smith.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Now the Seahawks going to use the 1st of their timeouts as he'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Smith's going to throw it. That's caught over the middle by Fant. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
Here we go on 4th. Smith. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they take a knee. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one. So this one in the win column for Kansas City, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.